When a woman is truly crazy about you, one of the psychological tricks she often uses without even realizing is creating small jealousy tests. It's not because she wants to hurt you or push you away, but rather because she wants reassurance of how much you value her. When feelings run deep, vulnerability rises. She begins to wonder if you feel the same intensity she does, or if your interest will fade once the newness wears off. That fear often surfaces through subtle scenarios where she wants to see how you react when your attention is slightly challenged. For example, she may casually mention another guy from work, talk about a male friend in her circle, or bring up how someone else complimented her. These small, almost harmless moments are her way of peeking into your emotional world. She's not seeking drama, she's searching for proof. She wants to know whether your connection is strong enough that you would care about losing her to someone else. When she creates these scenarios, it's rarely about the other guy. In fact, the other man may not even matter at all. What truly matters to her is your reaction. Do you brush it off indifferently, signaling that you might not care as much as she hoped? Do you overreact with insecurity or anger, which reveals a lack of confidence? Or do you respond calmly yet firmly, showing both security and a subtle possessiveness that reassures her she's important to you? The way you handle these moments speaks volumes, often more than words of love ever could. This is why these jealousy triggers are so powerful. They cut through surface level charm and reveal the foundation of your emotional investment. Another layer to this trick is when she acts slightly distant after bringing up another guy. She may withdraw her attention a little just to see whether you will step up your energy and pursue her harder. This withdrawal is not her trying to reject you. Rather, it's her testing if you'll allow the distance to grow or if you'll close it with your actions. She wants to feel that she's valuable enough for you to notice even the slightest shift in her behavior. To her, this validates that she's not just another option in your life, but a priority who stirs your emotions deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Men who fail these small tests often swing to extremes. Some dismiss them entirely, showing indifference, which makes her feel unimportant. Others spiral into jealousy themselves, interrogating her or showing insecurity, which weakens attraction. But the man who understands the psychology behind these tests responds with balanced composure. He acknowledges her without needing to compete with imaginary rivals. He may laugh it off, smile, or even playfully tease her back, but his energy communicates clearly: I see you, I value you, and no one else compares. That mix of security and subtle protectiveness makes her feel both desired and safe, which is exactly what she craves. At the core, these jealousy scenarios are not about manipulation, but about reassurance. A woman crazy about you wants to feel confident that her emotions are not one sided. She wants to know that you'd fight for her if needed, that you'd choose her over anyone else, and that your bond isn't fragile. If you understand this, you'll see these little games not as annoyances, but as opportunities to strengthen your connection. Because when you pass these tests with grace, she realizes she doesn't have to question your love. And that's when her attraction for you grows even deeper. Another powerful psychological trick a woman uses when she's deeply into you is mirroring. It's something she often does unconsciously, yet it reveals more than words ever could. When a woman is crazy about you, her body language, speech patterns, and even small habits begin to reflect yours. This mirroring is her way of aligning with you, showing compatibility, and creating a sense of harmony without openly declaring how much she cares. It's like her subconscious is saying, I want to be on the same wavelength as you. And the more she feels connected, the more this behavior comes out. You'll notice it in subtle ways first. Maybe she starts using the same phrases you do or laughing at things in the same rhythm as you. Perhaps she adopts some of your gestures, like leaning back the same way, crossing her arms when you do, or even mirroring your posture during a conversation. At a deeper level, she may even begin to pick up your hobbies, music preferences, or little quirks that you never cared for before. If you casually mention your love for a certain type of food, suddenly she suggests going to that restaurant. If you enjoy a certain style of music, she might start listening to it, not just to impress you, but because being close to you makes her naturally lean into your world. This mirroring creates a sense of emotional closeness, even if she's not fully aware she's doing it. To her, it feels natural to want to share your experiences and live through your lens. It's her way of drawing you in without being overly direct or risking rejection. Mirroring builds a silent but powerful bond where both of you feel in sync, and she does this because she wants you to feel understood and connected. Women know on an instinctual level that men are drawn to familiarity and comfort. By reflecting parts of you, she becomes more magnetic in your eyes without ever needing to say, I'm crazy about you. What's interesting is that mirroring often extends beyond actions and words. Emotionally, she starts to reflect your moods. If you're upbeat, she matches your energy. If you're serious, she softens into that tone. It's almost as though she's dancing with your emotions, matching your rhythm, so you both feel aligned. This doesn't mean she loses her individuality. Rather, it shows her deep investment in wanting to be attuned to your state of mind. It's her way of silently saying, I'm with you, I get you, and I want to be part of your inner world. Men who overlook these subtle cues often miss how much a woman actually cares. They may see her adapting as coincidence or dismiss it entirely, but those who are aware understand just how telling it is. When a woman goes out of her way to blend her energy with yours, it's a clear sign she values the connection deeply. She wouldn't bother with this level of alignment if her feelings were shallow or fleeting. The beauty of mirroring is that it creates a natural flow in the relationship. It reduces friction, increases intimacy, and makes both people feel like they're on the same team. For her, it's a subconscious way of drawing closer without needing to take the risk of confessing outright. For you, recognizing it allows you to see just how invested she really is. Because when her actions, words, and even emotions start reflecting yours, it's one of the strongest signals that she's not just interested, she's completely caught up in you. Another psychological trick women often use when they are crazy about a man is creating opportunities for physical closeness. This doesn't necessarily mean overtly romantic gestures at first. Instead, it usually shows up in small, subtle ways that are meant to test the waters and see how you respond. Physical proximity is a language all on its own. And when a woman is drawn to you, she instinctively wants to be near you, to share your personal space, and to build that unspoken bond through touch and closeness. You might notice that she positions herself closer than necessary during conversations. Even when there's plenty of room, she chooses the seat next to you instead of across from you. When walking together, she'll brush against your arm, or her steps will fall into rhythm with yours. She may playfully tap your shoulder when she laughs, or lean into you when she talks, as though your presence makes her feel safer, more relaxed, and more engaged. These aren't coincidences. They are small invitations to build intimacy without having to directly say how much she's into you. Women understand, even subconsciously, that touch is powerful. A light touch on your arm, a playful shove, or even adjusting something on your shirt are all ways she signals her attraction. She's not doing it randomly. She's testing comfort levels, gauging your reaction, and building a connection that words alone can't. When she's crazy about you, these touches are her way of saying, I want to be closer to you without the risk of being too forward. It's not just about touch either, it's about space. A woman who likes you will often find excuses to be physically around you, even if the situation doesn't require it. Maybe she shows up at group events but always drifts toward your side of the room. Maybe she lingers after a conversation when everyone else has moved on. She might invent reasons to see you or suggest casual meetups that place her in your orbit. This is how she keeps the connection alive while appearing natural and effortless. Men sometimes overlook this because they think a woman has to be extremely direct if she's interested, but the truth is, women often express feelings in softer, less obvious ways. Physical closeness is one of those undeniable signals. If she's choosing your space over anyone else's again and again, if her touch lingers just a little longer, or if she keeps finding excuses to close the gap between you, she's doing it because her feelings are pulling her toward you. On a psychological level, this tactic works because proximity builds familiarity, and familiarity creates deeper comfort. The more often you're near her, the easier it becomes to feel connected, and the more natural the bond feels. She knows this instinctively, so she uses closeness as a bridge to pull you into her world. When a woman is crazy about you, her actions may be subtle, but the message behind them is clear. She doesn't just want to talk to you, she wants to feel you near her, to share her space, and to strengthen that invisible bond that grows when two people are physically aligned. And when you recognize this, you'll see just how strong her attraction really is. Another powerful psychological trick women use when they are crazy about a man is mirroring his behavior and personality. This might not always be obvious at first, but once you start noticing it, you'll realize it's one of the clearest signs of deep interest. Human beings naturally mirror those they like because it builds rapport and creates a sense of connection. When a woman is genuinely drawn to you, she will subconsciously start to copy parts of your energy, your habits, even the way you phrase things, because it makes her feel closer to you and shows that she's tuned into your world. You might see this when she starts picking up on your expressions or using your favorite phrases in conversation. If you say something unique often, she'll find herself repeating it because she enjoys aligning with your vibe. If you have certain gestures, like the way you laugh, tilt your head, or even sip your drink, don't be surprised if you catch her doing the same thing without realizing it. It's her way of syncing with you and sending the subtle message that she's on the same wavelength. This mirroring also shows up in interests and activities. So suppose you love a certain sport, type of music, or a hobby. Suddenly, she's curious about it too, asking questions or even trying it out herself. Not because she's pretending, but because she wants to be part of what excites you. If you talk about a favorite book, movie, or place you love to visit, she may go out of her way to explore it so she can relate to you more deeply. This is her investing energy into understanding your world because the closer she feels to your passions, the closer she feels to you. Even in conversation styles women mirror men they're drawn to. If you speak with calm confidence, she'll naturally slow her speech to match your tone. If you're energetic and expressive, she'll bring that same energy. This isn't manipulation, it's instinct. When someone is crazy about you, they want harmony, not friction, so they align with your energy to strengthen the bond. The psychological reason behind this is simple. People are attracted to familiarity, and mirroring creates the illusion of similarity. It signals we're alike, we understand each other, we belong together. Women know that if they can reflect back pieces of you, it will naturally make you feel more comfortable and connected. And when a woman is deeply interested, she doesn't just mirror casually, she mirrors consistently, making it clear she's invested in aligning her world with yours. And this behavior may seem small on the surface, but it speaks volumes about her feelings. If she's echoing your words, adopting your style of humor, leaning when you lean, or taking an interest in the things you care about, it's because she wants to create a bridge between you and her. She's not just showing attraction, she's showing emotional investment, the desire to be in sync with you in more than just passing moments. When you pay attention to these little reflections, you'll see they're not accidents at all. They're signs of a woman who is genuinely captivated, who wants to close the gap between you, and who's showing, in her own way, that she's crazy about you. Another powerful psychological trick women use when they're crazy about a man is testing boundaries in subtle, playful, and sometimes even confusing ways. This doesn't come from a place of malice, it comes from a place of curiosity and emotional investment. When a woman deeply cares, she wants to know if you're steady, if you can handle her moods, if you're patient, and most importantly, if you're truly the kind of man who can make her feel safe and secure in the long run. These little tests are her way of gauging your strength, your emotional balance, and your ability to remain consistent under pressure. You may notice this when she playfully challenges your opinions or teases you just to see how you'll react. If she likes you, she wants to know whether you will fold, get defensive, or stand calmly and confidently in who you are. Women admire strength of character, and when they're invested, they'll press lightly against your boundaries to measure that strength. It's not about trying to push you away, it's about seeing if you'll stay grounded and authentic when the dynamics shift. Sometimes this testing comes in the form of her pulling back communication slightly to see if you'll chase her desperately or if you'll remain patient and composed. She may delay a reply to a message or cancel plans once in a while to see whether you become insecure or needy or whether you take it in stride. If she's truly crazy about you, this isn't meant to reject you. It's her subconscious attempt to find reassurance that you won't collapse at the slightest sign of resistance. She's essentially asking, can I trust you to be consistent even when I'm not perfect? Another way this shows up is when she asks questions about your past, your goals, and even your priorities in a way that feels more probing than usual. She's not being nosy for the sake of it. She's trying to assess if your values align with hers and if your words match your actions. When a woman is invested, she doesn't just want the surface level version of you. She wants to dig deeper, to test whether you are who you say you are and whether she can rely on that identity if things get serious. It's important to understand that these boundary tests are not meant to push you away, but to bring her closer to you by showing her that you are stable, trustworthy, and confident. If you get frustrated, angry, or overreact to them, it can trigger doubt in her mind, making her wonder if your foundation is shaky. But if you respond with patience, a calm smile, and the ability to maintain your frame, she feels reassured that she's investing her emotions in someone dependable. But this is why the strongest men don't take these tests personally. They understand that they're simply a reflection of her care and her desire to build something real. The more she likes you, the more she wants to know that she can lean on you without fear of being let down. So instead of resisting or resenting these little tests, the best thing you could do is stay grounded, laugh when it's playful, and answer with confidence when it's serious. In the end, when a woman tests boundaries while being crazy about you, it's her way of saying, I want to trust you fully. And if you pass with strength and patience, you don't just win her admiration, you win her lasting respect and devotion. One of the clearest psychological tricks women use when they're absolutely crazy about you is creating opportunities for physical closeness. It's subtle at times, but if you pay attention, you'll notice she positions herself in ways that allow you to be near her, touch her, or engage in some kind of physical interaction. This isn't just about attraction on a surface level, it's about intimacy, trust, and the unspoken connection she craves with you. When a woman likes you deeply, she won't always come out and say it with words. Instead, she'll let her body language, her proximity, and her actions speak volumes. You may notice she finds reasons to brush against your arm, touch your shoulder when she laughs, or sit closer to you even when there's plenty of space around. Those are not accidents. They're deliberate, unconscious ways of signaling, I want to be near you, I feel safe around you, and I enjoy the chemistry we share. These small gestures are her way of testing the comfort between you both, while also building it up piece by piece. If she's crazy about you, she wants to break down the physical barriers gradually so that intimacy feels natural and not forced. Another powerful clue is how she mirrors your movements without even realizing it. If you lean forward, she leans in too. If you cross your arms, she might mimic it. This kind of body mirroring happens because she's deeply attuned to you and invested in the connection. It's a psychological trick women don't consciously plan, but it's a reflection of her desire to be aligned with your energy. When she does this, it's her way of saying, I feel in sync with you. And that level of unspoken communication only comes from strong attraction and interest. She may also playfully invade your personal space in lighthearted ways, like grabbing something from your hand, fixing your collar, or leaning against you casually. These gestures might seem small, but they carry enormous weight because they're all about testing and building intimacy. A woman who is indifferent won't go out of her way to create physical contact, but a woman who's crazy about you will find ways to bridge that gap because closeness is her way of bonding on a deeper level. What's important for you is how you respond to this closeness. If you act tense, nervous, or too aggressive, it can ruin the natural flow of the moment. But if you remain calm, confident, and allow the interaction to unfold naturally, she feels reassured that you're comfortable with intimacy and capable of handling her affection without being overwhelmed. Women want to know that the man they're drawn to can not only handle their emotional energy, but also their physical energy in a way that feels safe, strong, and steady. This trick is powerful because it's both playful and revealing. It shows she trusts you enough to let you into her personal space, and at the same time, she's testing to see how you carry yourself when intimacy grows. The best response is to enjoy it, stay confident, and reciprocate in a balanced way without overdoing it. When a woman is crazy about you, her desire for physical closeness isn't just about attraction, it's about connection, comfort, and emotional security. By allowing her to come close while remaining strong and steady, you give her exactly what she's looking for: a safe place where attraction and trust can thrive together.